Today, I'm going to share with you the things that I've been doing every day that have made me feel so empowered, so much more in touch with my feminine energy, and so much more confident. Hola, beautiful souls. Welcome back or welcome to my channel, where we aim to use astrology, spirituality, and wellness as self-development tools to become our highest selves every day. If that sounds like something you're interested in, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss future videos like this one, and so I know that you want more videos like this one in the future. Today is all about the empowering, confidence boosting, spiritual, internal habits that I have been doing on basically a daily basis lately in order to feel my most empowered, to feel like a goddess, to feel feminine and strong. And if you're a man watching this, this can apply to you too, okay? When I talk about feminine, I'm not just talking about being a female or gender roles. No, we all have masculine and feminine energy, and in order to feel spiritually balanced and grounded, some sort of balance needs to be achieved between the two. So if you want to know more about how I've been achieving this balance, keep on watching. I'm going to start with a little tidbit about myself, and if you want to skip this, there are timestamps available, so feel free to skip it if you do not want to hear this part. But as some of you may or may not know, earlier in 2024, I went super headstrong and went all in and focused on my goals with YouTube and with content creation. I was so proud of myself looking back at the grit that I had and how hard I worked and how much passion and focus I put into this. But I kept hitting brick wall after brick wall. It genuinely seemed like the universe did not want me to create content, and I did not know why. I had never encountered so many problems, especially when I was feeling so inspired, more inspired than ever. After 2 months of obstacles, I finally gave up and I stopped making any content at all because I just really needed to reel it back in, reassess and reevaluate what was going on with myself internally. I'm not one of those people that looks at external circumstances and goes,
oh, woe is me, like this sucks, like I'm not gonna create content anymore.
no. I look at that and I go, what is going on with me that might be causing these types of things to happen? Something is not resonating here. Fast forward to now, months later, I spent all that time reflecting and nourishing my soul. And in that time, I made it a focus to not worry about anything else but my own self-nourishment. I started to just let everything go. I'm like, okay, I'm not creating content, so I'm letting that incessant need to create and to produce, I'm letting it go. Months later, I realized just how unconscious and unhealthy that need to create and to produce became without me even realizing it. Yes, I was inspired and I was driven, which is great, but I had leaned so much into that it was unhealthy. And I started hitting a creative brick wall. Now I feel so much more replenished, and my biggest lesson was to stop overthinking everything I do and lean into how things feel more than anything. And if something doesn't work, whatever, move on, move to the next thing, be more fluid. I felt like I had unconsciously become so rigid, which was so spiritually, emotionally, and mentally unhealthy for me. And in order to manifest and to bring in abundance in every sense, not just material abundance, but emotional abundance, mental abundance, you need to have fluidity. You need to be able to flow, not just be this like rigid, like strong rock that just like barrels through everything or tries to barrel through everything, because that just does not work. With that being said, I was inspired to make this video because I wanted to share with you guys the things I've been doing that have really helped me reconnect. I really have found a way to mix and blend productivity with more like creativity and spirituality in order to feel more balanced and sound in everything that I do. The first habit I've developed every day is to wake up between 5 and 7 a.m. Now I say between 5 and 7 because this does change depending on what's going on in my life that day, whether I have work, whether I'm going to the gym or not, whether I am around that time of my cycle and I need more sleep, but I aim for between 5 to 7 a.m. pretty much every day that I have a whole schedule set up for myself. But no matter what time I wake up so I have enough time to spend at least an hour, ideally an hour and a half, but at least an hour waking up, doing whatever I want to do first thing in the morning. But my favorite part of this whole process of waking up at this time is having my morning drinks. I am such a drink person, a liquid person, and pretty much the wellness things that I take or the wellness things that have stuck in my routine are all liquid. So as soon as I'm done in the bathroom in the morning, I always head to the kitchen to make my green juice. I use the Anima Mundi Herbals Liver Vitality green powder. That is the one that I trust, and it's the one I've been using for like 2 years now, and I go back to it religiously. I drink a cup of spearmint tea, and I've also been making my Rise mushroom coffee and adding some collagen, protein powder to it, a little bit of date syrup if I have any, and some warm almond milk into it. For some reason, this concoction has just been so comforting to me first thing in the morning, but I'll take I'll take my little drink duo back into my room and I'll actually watch self-development and inspiring YouTube content. I used to want to take this time to like journal or meditate or read some type of like self-development or productive book, but I found that I wouldn't look forward to that, and I also wouldn't be like awake enough for reading a book, for example. And then for meditation, sometimes I will fall back asleep. That's not my goal here. I will fall back asleep and I was like, these things are making me feel more lethargic and like not inspired in the morning. And for myself, for everybody, it's different. The key here is to find what makes you feel good in the morning and makes you want to get out of bed and stay out of bed. For me, I look forward to my spearmint tea, my Rise coffee, and my inspirational morning YouTube videos. I have like a whole list of very diverse creators, but the one thing they all do for me is the two things they do. One, they resonate with me. There's something about them that resonates with who I am at my core and what fulfills my soul. Second, their content makes me feel so inspired. When I watch their content, it makes me look forward to finishing my Rise coffee and my tea and getting my butt up and doing the things that I need to do. And then if I have time, I'll spend 10 to 15 minutes at least doing a little yoga practice. I just type in Boho Beautiful Beginners Yoga because I personally have found her channel to be the one that I love the most because she really focuses on like the meditative and restorative experience as you stretch, as you do the yoga. And I love that because it feels like a morning meditation, but I'm getting to move my body and kind of work out all the kinks and realign it for the day, which feels really good. The second thing that I've been doing on an almost daily basis is going to the gym. So I've been heading to the gym 3 to 4 times a week, and I really got back into the routine of doing so, and I've already noticed such a difference in the strength of my body. I'm somebody who loves feeling in tune with my muscles. I love really focusing on the movements that I do and feeling the muscles, and I feel like it's almost like a more intense version of yoga when I strength train. Obviously, it's not the same thing, but it is sort of meditative in its own way, in the way that I do it, because if you really get in tune with the muscles you're activating and really focus on those movements, then you get in touch with your body. And through doing that, you build a respect for your body that makes you want to take even better care of it. We take it for granted and we lose our connection to our body. And a big part of balancing that feminine, masculine energy is being in connection with our body, intuitively knowing what it needs, what it wants. For me, strength training really does that to me. It's not so much about going in there and like trying to lift the heaviest weight and exhausting myself. It is about improving my strength over time, but that mind-body connection that strength training builds, or even other forms of exercises such as Pilates, really makes you have a newfound love and respect for your body that is very spiritually nourishing, in my opinion. So I've been making it a point to make sure I do that. And I do it in the morning, because if I don't do it in the morning, I'm never going to do it. I'm not going to the gym. It's just not going to happen. So I have to do it in the morning. The third thing I've been doing daily is taking time to make myself a nourishing breakfast. For the most part, between 9 and 10 is my goal time to eat breakfast. And I either make myself, again, depending on what I have going on, I'll make myself a very nourishing protein breakfast smoothie. This actually changes depending on my cycle. For example, I just finished a sweet potato protein smoothie that I make myself when I'm in my luteal phase. I consume more sweet potato and more pumpkin on my luteal phase because those are really important and nutrient dense for this part of my cycle. So I'll either make myself a very nourishing breakfast protein smoothie depending on what part of my cycle I'm in, or I'll also make myself a very hefty omelet. This omelet has been my tried and true for a while. I usually have 3 to 4 eggs. I know that sounds like a lot, but I use like higher quality eggs that have very nutrient dense yolk, and those nutrient dense like orange yolk have lower cholesterol levels, and they have healthy cholesterol that we need. And I'll make them into an omelet. And I like to make the omelet fluffy. I like to season it with everything seasoning, sea salt, and sometimes I'll do a drizzle of balsamic glaze on it. Depending on, again, the day, like if I went to the gym and exerted more energy, then I like to have a piece of toast, a piece of avocado toast with it. I will always put avocado on my omelet, but I will also make a supplemental piece of avocado toast to go with it. Starting your day with a nourishing protein and fat rich meal like this one is another way that you build that mind-body connection. And again, the gut too. The gut is connected to our spiritual self, the way that we feel spiritually, the way that we glow, the aura that we exude. It starts with the connection to our gut. And then the gut kind of creates a domino effect within the rest of our body. The fourth habit I've been incorporating every day is making myself feel feminine and put together and presentable. Now, I'm still working on this a little bit because I'm still navigating my personal sense of like daily style and navigating the nuance between feeling more casual and comfortable, but also feeling feminine and put together and like I'm expressing myself. And this is an ongoing thing because we're always changing, our tastes are always evolving, but it's about embracing that and incorporating it into your daily life. A lot of time we keep reverting back to the same clothes. And I'm not saying you need to have a huge wardrobe, I don't, but it's just embracing those changes and evolving with yourself through how you present yourself. This can really up your confidence, boost your self-esteem, and therefore boost your energy. And for me, it's a spiritual experience to take care of myself. When we talk about like goddess energy, feminine energy, that is all spiritual. And the way that I embrace my goddess energy is by presenting myself in a way, whether I'm going to be at home or whether I'm filming or whether I'm going out somewhere. I want to present myself in a way that feels true to me and empowering to me. And for me personally, this is through a more simple put together style. Again, I'm still navigating this, but a more feminine, simple, put together, slightly edgy style. And one of the ways I love adding some spiritual sparkle and like a goddess glow to the outfit that I'm wearing is through my jewelry pieces. Pretty much every single day, whether you've seen my past videos or you know me in person or you ever see me on social media, I always have some type of amulet-like necklace on and some type of dainty choker because that is what I have found expresses my own personal style the best. So it tends to be what I go towards. And that's why I'm so excited about today's sponsor, which is Ana Luisa, a carbon neutral, earth-friendly, sustainable jewelry brand that offers high quality jewelry pieces at affordable prices that go as low as $39. So you guys can really express yourself through long-lasting, high-quality pieces without the worry of crazy hundreds of dollars of cost for one piece of jewelry, which is something that I know is so impactful on how we express ourselves. A lot of us don't want to spend the money, and we also want to spend money in companies that have good values. Plus, they offer free shipping across the US, so that is always a bonus, and a 2-year warranty guaranteed on the pieces that you purchase. So be sure that you go down to the link in my description. That way you can get up to 30% off your Ana Luisa pieces. And I want to thank Ana Luisa once again for sponsoring today's video. But with that being said, these are the pieces I've been wearing when I go hiking, when I go to work, when I go to sleep. And I just love having my body adorned with some type of jewelry that makes me glow. Jewelry makes the biggest difference. So whether I'm staying home or whatever I'm doing, I have been taking the time to make myself presentable. Even if I have no makeup on, you can still add like a little sparkle of jewelry or add like kind of a nice put together outfit. Put your hair back, slick it back and put it into a nice bun or a low ponytail, and this has been making all the difference for me instead of just feeling like a potato sack all day, every day. After I've got myself all beautified and put together, whatever that looks like, I have to set the mood in my room. If I am going to be in my room working, I am all about setting the mood and making my environment worth being in. We can get so used to our environments and we can start to overlook things, or we can even start to toss things to the wayside. The cleanliness of our environment, the way it looks, the way it feels. But it is so important and it is so spiritually nourishing to have an environment that feels good to you. And this is one of the ways that I have, again, leaned more into that feminine energy to remain softer and a bit more fluid and receptive to whatever happens, whatever I have to face in the day. I can face it a bit better if I like my environment. So the way that I love to set my mood is I love to light candles. As you can see in the back, I always have candles lit in my videos, light an incense. It's around a moon cycle, significant moon cycle. I will light some Palo Santo and kind of do a little zhuzh, energy zhuzh around my room. I also love to turn on like an ambiance YouTube video. So those YouTube videos that are like medieval fantasy castle music with fairy dust noises and piano and stuff. I don't know. I listen to multiple. There'll be like lo-fi ambiance videos, jazz ones. I'll put it on my TV and just have it play in the background while I work or do whatever I need to do. And that also sets the mood for me. Like there's even ones that are like, oh, you're in like a lakeside mansion and you're sitting by a fire burning by the lake at night and there's fireflies, and it gets very specific. But I'll feel in that mood. And then when I put it on my TV, it just adds a little something to the environment. We also don't want to feel stagnant because of our environment. Maybe for some reason we're not able to go see new places and travel. And a lot of us are not able to because of financial reasons, time restrictions, etc. So you want to bring some type of flavor, some type of unique experience into your environment. And that's one of the ways that I do it. And that's one of the ways that I keep myself feeling at peace and resonant and inspired by my direct immediate environment. Now I'm calling this the bonus section. I have a couple bonus habits that I don't get to do every day, and they kind of depend on my schedule that I have set up, but they are things that I have found that I've really enjoyed and have really added a new level of spiritual nourishment and emotional nourishment to my life. The first one is going to be going for a walk in nature. Now, it's usually only a couple times a month, or at best a few times a month, that I'm able to actually like go drive an hour to 3 hours somewhere around where I live and actually explore like a cool nature trail or national park of some kind. But that can't happen all the time. I try to do it at least once a month because that is the most fulfilling. That is, I attribute going out to nature more often and taking those hikes and exploring these waterfalls and these magical places that are not far from me. I have found that to be one of the #1 ways I have gotten back in tune with that softer, more intuitive, more spiritual side of myself. But if I can't do that, then even just going for a walk, like in my neighborhood or nearby it, whatever I can do to get out in the sun, to see the trees, to hear the birds, to get into the elements in some way, shape, or form has played a massive role in how I feel on a daily basis. Of course, there are the health benefits of it, but this is more for me about the internal, emotional, mental, and spiritual benefits that come from doing that. I recently took a walk to a nearby coffee shop. There's a coffee shop that's about a mile away from me. It would take about 20 to 25 minutes to walk there, and I had always stopped myself and thought too hard about it. But I finally did it one day. I just walked there, and I got a matcha, and I watched inspirational YouTube videos. It was one of the best things that I have done, and it was so fulfilling. It made me so happy, and it showed me that I can still explore. Even if I can't go far, there's a lot that I can explore that I've been holding myself back from just in my immediate environment, in my everyday life. Second is to sit outside and read or write. I've done this a couple times now where around like 9:30 a.m., there's usually nobody there because a lot of people are at work or they're out doing stuff, or people just don't want to go in the pool until the afternoon. And I won't go in the pool, but I'll just go there and sit in one of the chairs that sits in the sun. And I'll just enjoy the sun as I read something, like I'll read some type of self-development book, or I'll write, I'll journal. I got to soak up the sun. I got to listen to the early morning sounds and hear the birds and everything, and again, get in touch with the elements. But I also got to do something that's mentally nourishing for me, which is writing or reading. So I highly recommend doing that as well. The third bonus is reading a fictional book at night before bed. I don't do it every single day for various reasons, but I try to do it at least 3 times a week. And this has been so nourishing to my soul and so nourishing to my femininity too, because I tend to read fictional fantasy romance books, and it just brings me back into my dreamy realm of fantasy where I get to live in a world where these like outlandish romantic gestures and these amazingly beautiful characters all exist. And it just indulges a part of me that I had left to the wayside because I became too restricted and too focused. You get so far away from these parts of yourself that really nourish and cushion your soul. And your soul is the seat of your entire existence. You know, without that, your life is gonna feel cold. You're gonna feel like you're hitting brick walls. You're gonna feel a darkness. So I needed to reinvigorate that part of myself, and reading those fantasy books has been huge. Watching anime, like I caught up on animes that I hadn't watched in forever. I started dabbling with video games just a little bit, and again, for me, that's just how I've been indulging in fantasy worlds, which has always been important to me. I am a Pisces after all, you know, I have to indulge in fantasy one way or another. Whatever you take from this video, I hope that you took something, whether you're male, female, non-binary watching this video, it does not matter. What can you do today and onwards every day that nourishes your soul? So if you took anything out of this or you're looking forward to doing any of these, be sure that you leave a comment below letting me know what it is because I'm very curious. And after you comment, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so I know you want more videos like this one and so you don't miss the future videos like this one. And one last thing before you leave, be sure that you head down to that link in the description once again to Ana Luisa to get your first jewelry pieces for up to 30% off. It's super exciting. Thank you so much again for Ana Luisa sponsoring today's video. It means so much. I love my pieces and I hope that you will too. But until next time, thank you so much for being here and watching this one. Adios.